Have you ever wanted to learn a new language? Maybe you were inspired by a recent international trip, became obsessed with a foreign film or TV show, wanted to communicate better with a loved one, or just felt like developing a new skill. With Rosetta Stone, learning a new language is easier than you thought. Rosetta Stone has been a trusted expert for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered, including Spanish, French, Japanese, Dutch, and more. Learning is immersive and designed for long-term retention, so you fully learn to speak, listen, and even think in that language. Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. Listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/today. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/today.
Early holiday savings have arrived at Tanger Outlets. Discover the best gifts from your favorite brands, perfect for everyone on your list. And stack your savings with up to 70% off, plus an extra 15 to 25% off only during Tanger Style. Save at Polo Ralph Lauren, Old Navy Outlet, Under Armour, Skechers, J. Crew Factory, and more. Hurry in. These early holiday deals last through November 24th. Tanger Outlets. More savings, more cheer.
In Oregon, 2 children escape a kidnapping suspect with the help of a good Samaritan. The FBI has released a new report covering sextortion online, and Woody is bringing you all the details on that story. And a Joliet gunman takes his own life at a gas station in Texas. These stories and more coming at you today, Monday, January 29th on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Everton.
And I'm Mike Agavino. Happy Monday, boys.
Monday, fun day.
Just want to congratulate the Detroit Lions on that tremendous victory last night. They will go to the Super Bowl, and I think they're going to win the Super Bowl as well.
I hope that they lose, and I'm not cutting this out because we're actually pre-recording this, obviously.
Right.
Well, so it would be really funny if they
hope y'all had
destroyed.
a great weekend and your team won, and we'll let you know tomorrow.
How many yards do you think Barry Sanders will have?
Did you watch the documentary?
Between the suite he's going to be in and the concession stands, about 10 yards. So he'll probably go 3. I'd say he'll have about 60 yards.
I watched that documentary.
I haven't seen it.
It's really
on Barry Sanders.
Hell of a good insight.
God, he was amazing.
But his personality, I didn't know who's so humble,
so shy.
And
yeah.
But,
what was that on?
I think it's on Prime.
Okay, I'll have to look it up.
Anyway, so let's get down to some true crime time for Monday. Lay it on, Jim Chapman.
Heck, I figured Mike was still going to go with all the unrelated.
I can tell you about the Grammys.
Okay,
Oscars,
let's get into some crime time. Woody's right. Crime time. And we're going to bring you to Portland.
Barbie does not win Best Picture. That's my prediction.
We're going to bring you to.
If it does, I'm moving to Portugal.
We're going to bring you to Portland, and actually a serious case out of Portland. 2 children ages 9 and 11 have escaped from a stolen car and flagged down a passerby who helped police capture a suspected car thief. This was in, obviously, Portland, Oregon. Their dad left the car idling with his children inside during a quick stop at a Portland business on Monday, when a woman, later identified as Deshae Millage, 33, jumped into the driver's seat and took off. The father attempted to stop the theft, but the woman accelerated away from the scene with the 2 children in the back of the vehicle. The father suffered minor injuries to his hand. About 10 minutes into the harrowing ride, the 2 children jumped out of the back seat while they were being held up at a red light and grabbed someone's attention. Millage panicked and kept driving. The Good Samaritan called 911 and stayed with the kids until responding officers arrived, who made sure they did not suffer any injuries and reunited them with their dad. That was shortly before 3 p.m. Not long after the initial 911 call, the sheriff's office spotted a stolen car on I-5 in North Portland that fit the description. The car thief ignored the lights and sirens and orders to pull over, which sparked a chase along the highway that led into the state of Washington. Several nearby law enforcement agencies joined in pursuit and pinned the suspected car thief less than 10 miles after crossing state lines into Vancouver. Millage was arrested and charged with attempt to elude, reckless driving, and a slew of other charges. The fugitive from justice charge is the result on an arrest warrant being granted for second-degree kidnapping. So they're going to charge him with that as well. Right. She is in the process of being extradited back to Oregon, where prosecutors are saying more charges can be filed, but don't leave your kids in the car, even if it's 5 minutes to grab a Snickers bar at a gas station.
Do you know what body of water you got to cross to go from Oregon into Washington?
I have actually driven that. Is it something sound or is it?
No, Puget Sound is up in Seattle.
I've driven it. When he was telling a story about, I can't remember the name of the.
It's Columbia River.
Okay,
and
it was kind of beautiful.
And that river, they catch those monster sturgeon.
Yeah,
in that river.
Yeah,
you ever see the size of those sturgeon?
I've seen them on sporting shows and stuff.
You never fished for sturgeon? You ever eat sturgeon? It's amazing.
Really,
it's incredible.
I have to try it out. I'm gonna get.
It's expensive, rare. You got to get it up there because that's where they catch them.
We like eating turtle around here.
That's right.
But then you don't name the item, the soup after the turtle. It's called, what is it called?
Cooter soup.
Yeah, cooter.
Turtle soup.
We're supposed to know what a cooter is.
Well, it's turtle sauce pecan here, but all right, y'all. This should be a Jim Chapman story, but I'm gonna take the lead on it. So the father of a high school athlete who died by suicide in 2022 after becoming the victim of a sexual extortion or sextortion scam on Instagram believes the issue is much more dire than a recent FBI report suggests. The social media crime trend is called sextortion, in which bad actors entice or solicit a minor to engage in sexual acts or send blackmail money, according to the FBI, which received more than 13,000 reports of online financial sextortion involving at least 12,600 victims between October of 2021 and March of 2023. That's a lot, y'all. Kids, right?
Yes.
It is most alarming to me that it's allowed to get this far, John DeMay, Jordan DeMay's father, says. And social media companies aren't doing a whole lot to stop this, apparently, because that's where it's happening, and it's happening a lot. Jordan DeMay was 17 years old when a Nigerian scammer engaged him in a sextortion plot, ultimately leading to the football player taking his own life. Samuel Ogashi, 22, is one of three suspects from Lagos, arrested last year for allegedly hacking Instagram accounts and sextorting approximately 130 victims online. He is Ogashi's his 20-year-old brother, Samson, and Ezekiel Robert, 19, posed as women on Instagram and coerced young men into exchanging explicit photos. I am glad they didn't have these things when I was a kid, y'all. Ogashi, who is currently facing multiple federal charges in the U.S., took over a woman's Instagram account and struck up a conversation with Jordan one night in March of 2022. Once Jordan sent an explicit photo of himself, Ogashi threatened to expose it and make it go viral online if Jordan did not immediately send money. Jordan complied and sent the money. But the crime only escalated from there as Ogashi demanded more and more money from the 17-year-old. The exchange went on for hours on a single night until Jordan told Ogashi that he was going to kill himself. Good, Ogashi wrote. Do that fast or I'll make you do it. I swear to God. The FBI describes sextortion as a criminal act in which an offender contacts a minor online and coerces the minor to send. Well, y'all already know what it is, all right? It's bad shit. And in the second case of financially motivated extortion, offenders threaten to release that compromising material unless they receive payment, which is often requested in gift cards, mobile payment services, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. All these things generally can't be traced, y'all. These offenders are motivated by financial gain, not necessarily just sexual gratification. John DeMay said his initial reaction to the FBI's 13,000 number was that he believes the actual number of sextortion victims in the U.S. is much higher, which I would agree with. But due to the stigma surrounding the crime and its victims, many people do not report it. Second,
Right.
The second, DeMay said, based on his own anecdotal experience speaking with families in his small Michigan hometown whose children have been victimized by sextortion, he believes the actual number of victims is much higher than the 13,000. Yeah. And the average age of sextortion victims is between 14 and 17.
Wow.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has created a free service called Take It Down, which is meant to help victims of sextortion erase explicit images or of victims or get bad actors to stop sharing online. The tool can be accessed at takeitdown.ncmec.org. Another way they do it.
Yeah, and this is really a problem that is from the advent of the internet generation. And I'll tell you, what I am happy to see is that laws are adjusting to that, because it's not just sextortion cases like the examples you brought up where it's someone faking to be someone else.
Yeah.
You have problems with like a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend. They break up, and maybe during that relationship you had some compromising photos, and that person decides they want to threaten you with releasing those.
They did that. They used to have a site called something like
Netflix did a big documentary on that. And that was a big part of changing that law.
Revenge is called revenge porn. Yeah.
So now that is if I have a picture, if I take a selfie of myself and I'm in a let's just say compromising position.
Don't worry, Jim, I won't share that.
And that is somehow a third party ends up with that.
Yeah. And
they use that to say threaten me, or B just release it. Yeah. They can go to jail. Yeah, there are laws against that now, and I'm glad to see that.
I had a case of an LSU cheerleader. I need to say this for life or crime. It just hit me in the head that had sex with this dude after going home from the bar, but he recorded it, and this is like way back when recording equipment was really expensive. And then she didn't want to have anything to do with it afterwards, and he blackmailed her. I got this video. Bro. I'm going to release it to the whole university and the cheer squad. And he literally had her come back over and basically forcibly raped her under the threat of the video until she came in and reported to us.
Yeah, it happens.
Now he's in prison. Fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah, glad to see those laws, but horrible. And if you have porn,
now because everybody has it.
Yeah, and if you have something online of you, you can go to that website Woody just talked about, and they will get that removed, whatever it is.
The best that they can, yeah. Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser-cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out-of-the-ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Guys, I used to in a prior life, I used to go up to Silicon Valley a lot and meet with a lot of tech firms and VCs that invested in tech firms. You'd go out to lunch with these people and, get into conversations about the tech world. I never met a person in that industry who allowed their teenage kids to have their own phone in their room at night.
Because they knew what was coming.
They knew what was fucking coming. And they would warn you. And so if there's one thing that the audience could do to not be a statistic and you have your kids be a statistic in this epidemic of cybercrime is take the phone away.
Yeah.
Watch TV with your kids, have them read a book, work on their homework, anything other than being on social media, 8 o'clock to midnight or whatever hours.
Love you to death, brother, but that shit ain't happening. I mean, they go anywhere, any restaurant, anywhere, and everybody's on their phone with the whole family. I'm guilty of it myself.
I know it's not happening, ironically, other than in Silicon Valley. I know it's not happening, but it starts with
I agree. I mean, we should try to do it, but I'm guilty as hell on all that too. So, and this is like a prelude, but I don't want to get into this discussion about the shit they're going to do with AI in the future too.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to suburban Chicago. We're also going to take a trek 1,100 miles away to Texas in this story, but it's a sad story. And it starts off in Joliet, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago, and ends at a gas station in a small town in Texas.
Got to interrupt you real quick before you get serious. At least it used to be prison keys when you're a correctional officer, and you have these big ass keys, the big brass keys, and guess where every one of them was made at? Joliet, Illinois.
Mm.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry. Fun fact.
The gunman behind the Illinois shooting spree that left 8 people dead has killed himself after he was surrounded by police more than 1,100 miles away. Romeo Nance is the guy's name, 23 years old. He was on the run after he was linked to 3 separate shootings in Joliet that occurred on Sunday and Monday. A man was killed and another injured on Sunday before 7 more bodies were found on Monday afternoon. Joliet Police Chief Bill Evans said that Monday's victims were family members who were found dead in 2 separate homes on the same street, West Acres Road. So the family had a home on one side of the street and
that's the one I was looking. That's the story I was looking for the other day.
Yeah, probably. He added that in his more than 20 years in law enforcement, it was the single worst crime scene he had ever seen. The shootings were all linked to Romeo Nance, and a frantic manhunt was launched. The Medina County, Texas Sheriff's Office, Medina County, received a call early Monday evening about an individual heading their way on Interstate 35 from Bexar County, Bexar County. The individual was believed to be wanted out of Chicago for multiple homicides. U.S. Marshals, together with Medina deputies, tracked Nance down to a gas station in the small town of Natalia, Texas. They were able to surprise Nance, but a standoff took place between the officers and Nance at the gas station. Nance was alone, almost 1,200 miles away from Joliet at a Chubby's gas station at 8:30 on Monday night when he realized he was outnumbered and outgunned. And in that moment, he chose his own path, and that path was to shoot himself dead before marshals did it for him.
Coward.
Yeah.
A motive for the killings hasn't been established, but Evans said the family, again, all of these victims were known to Nance and were family. I've been policing 29 years. This is probably the worst crime scene I've ever been associated with. Will County Sheriff's Office Deputy Dan Jungle said they had been working on the investigation into Nance since Sunday when they were called to a report of a man bleeding from his head at 5 Pheasant Run Lane. Our officers responded to that area for a person found with blood coming out of his head, and upon deputies' arrival, they located a gunshot wound. He was transported to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The man was later identified as 28-year-old Toyosi Bakari, originally from Nigeria, who had been living in the U.S. for only 3 years. Department Chief Jungle said they quickly identified Nance's vehicle and found it was linked to another non-fatal shooting where a man was shot in the leg but survived. And that was in that on Sunday. He said at midnight on Sunday, officers set up constant surveillance near an address linked to Nance. That's that West Acres Road address. After Nance or the car failed to appear at that address, Chief Jungle said just before noon Monday, our officers then went to a residence, located blood, made entry where they located 2 deceased individuals, and then they eventually went across the street and found the others. We now know that Nance was long gone by that point and was on his way probably to Mexico by way of Texas. Nance had been arrested by Joliet police last year after trying to shoot a woman. The 36-year-old woman was driving, and it was a road rage incident, and he pulled up alongside her. He thankfully missed, but he was charged with aggravated discharge of a weapon, aggravated unlawful use of a weapon, aggravated assault, reckless discharge of a firearm, obstructing a police officer, and they released him on $10,000 bond, and that was back in March of last year. He was due to make an appearance on those charges in court this Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, don't know how long he would have gone away for those crimes, but did the fact that he had this court appearance on that date, speed him into some craziness with his family? Who the heck knows? He was also imprisoned at age 19 and charged with 2 counts of robbery back then, but didn't have a record of homicide anyway. And the guy just kills his entire family and then takes himself out. The only update on it is they did arrest his girlfriend, a woman by the name of Kylie Singleton, for obstruction, because apparently police had called her in for questioning on Monday, and she feigned that she knew nothing about anything when
fires of hell burn a little bit brighter.
Yeah. It's just a shame that guy, if you're going to kill yourself, just kill yourself. Yep. Don't take 90 people out with you, or however many, all these people out with you.
Yep.
And you look at this guy and he looks, good-looking guy, young kid.
What does a murderer look like?
Yep.
That's right.
Punk-ass bitch.
A lot of good-looking murderers. No doubt about it. All right, so on Wednesday's episode, we brought you a story of a Louisiana man who was caught by police hiding in a dryer. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Well, we could almost have another segment based off of criminals that find some pretty innovative hiding spots. And today we're going to tell you another one. Right. Today we're going to tell you about Stacy Usher. So Stacy Usher, 39, was arrested after she sold some fentanyl to a police informant in Citrus County, Florida last year. All right. Now, earlier this year, Usher pled no contest to a pair of felony counts and was sentenced to 24 months of probation, as well as some drug offender conditions, which included random testing and prohibition against consuming alcohol. So as part of that, couldn't have anything like that. So Usher gets accused of violating the terms of that probation, and a judge issues an arrest warrant for her, right? Usher would later try to say that her life was in danger and please don't send her to prison because she was a primary witness against someone and she's worried about getting killed in prison. Okay. So
snitches get
she goes on the run basically. And cops looking for her, and they finally catch up to her last week at the Bella Oasis Hotel.
Nice.
And it advertises itself, because I looked it up, as the best hotel in Homicida Springs, Florida.
Oh, so it wasn't a rent by the hour, piped in porno motel?
Well, that's not, according to them, they're the best
Florida town?
hotel. Homicida Springs, Florida.
Check that place out.
Is that correct, Mike?
I've never heard of Homicida Springs, so.
Okay. Well,
sure.
I'm sure it exists.
Tell us
they have the best hotel.
They have the best, the Bella Oasis, don't they?
Yeah,
Oasis.
Bella
Tell us
Oasis. Usher had actually burrowed into a couch in a bid to hide from the sheriff's
Must be a
deputies.
nice hotel that had a couch.
Yeah, a pull out at that, right? So after being extradited from the furniture, Usher was obviously booked into roomier accommodations at the county
Wait, they
jail.
found her with that brilliant a hiding spot?
They found her with that brilliant hiding spot, and she had a rap sheet as long as, Shaquille O'Neal's arm, worthless check, fraud, all kinds of things. But you've got to see, and I'm going to post this obviously on the Facebook, but the body cam screenshot from the officer as she's coming out of the couch is classic.
Funny, bro.
Oh my God.
And
body cams in my day.
So the question is, we found one hiding in the dryer. Right. Now we got one hiding in a couch. Yeah. I would love to see
dryer would be the much
a
better
list of some of the most interesting hiding spots for criminals.
Then I was just talking about the Everett Thornton who kidnapped his kids by accident and put them on the side of the road. It was his nephew, Everett Thornton. They all had the same name. He was like junior or third, whatever. I called him hide in the same closet 3 times. And the trailer was a 1-bedroom trailer. And I would sneak up. He had warrants. And I knocked on the door of the sheriff's office. I could see him running to the back of his trailer. His daddy come to the door. Well, he's not here. I'm like, well, you don't mind if I look? Go back there. I'm like, Everett come out. His fucking feet are sticking out from under the pile of clothes. Oh, my God. You have to I know I had to cover that one originally. Yeah. The last time I just sprayed the shit out of him and shut the closet door on him.
Oh,
get some Freeze Plus P until he's ready to come out.
Breathe that in for a minute.
Crazy hiding places.
Gracious.
Well, speaking of that, y'all, let's go to Mississippi, where a Mississippi woman named Jerry Lynn Roy has been charged with murder after the body of her son. This goes back to hiding places. John Allen Gaither was discovered behind a false wall in Robbie's Gulfport home on Thursday. According to Gulfport Police, y'all, which is right next door to Biloxi, Jerry Lynn Robbie, 66, who also goes by the last name of Israel, was arrested on Saturday and charged with 1 count of first-degree murder. Police said they found the body of Gaither, however you say it, y'all. It's not Goche, Gaither, who was 42, in a wooden box hidden behind a false wall in her Gulfport home. Gulfport police spokesman confirmed that Gache was Robbie's son. started investigating this case back on December 22nd, 2023, after officers responded to the residence in connection with a possible missing person. According to officers, here comes another name. According to Officer Ducree, the last known contact with Gacher was on December 10th, and on December 27th, police conducted several follow-ups and began noticing discrepancies in statements provided by her. Throughout the course of the investigation, Ruby had become increasingly uncooperative and changed her story multiple times. One thing never changes is the truth. So authorities learned that Ruby had previously been arrested and convicted of murder in Florida around 1995. In the 1995 case, she made several attempts to dump the deceased body at different locations throughout Florida. Following police discovery of the 1995 arrest, detectives were able to obtain a search warrant for her home and conducted a search on January the 18th. When they walked into the house, she took a handful of unspecified pills and was then transported to the hospital. The search led to the discovery of the dead body inside a wooden box that was hidden behind a false wall. According to Ducree, Ruby's attempt to cover up the crime by writing notes to family members posing as her son. Police also said multiple homemade wooden boxes were found in her home and inside her garage, and her ass is locked up in Harrison.
So she
County.
was set to dispose of more bodies if she needed to.
And kill
Guarantee you she's got more bodies on her they ain't found yet.
Yes, and that's her.
That's serial killer right there, boys.
Yeah. And she's, 65.
Look for some serious interrogation and some serious stuff to come out on more bodies with that woman.
They're going to get her.
Yeah.
Good. It takes time to build a false wall.
Yeah. And then you've got extra wooden boxes.
Right.
So you got plans to be killing.
Oh, yeah.
Enough suicide in this episode.
Golly, right?
I'm going to change the story I was going to do. Instead, I'm going to take you to Florida. And that's where we're going to meet the anger management therapist who just got arrested for murder.
There you go.
His name is Travis McBride. He's 46 years old. He was arrested on Thursday and charged with first-degree premeditated murder in connection with the death of 51-year-old Clinton Dorsey. This is all according to the DeLand Police Department. A female witness who initially alerted authorities told them that the homeless victim lived in the woods nearby. According to DeLand police, they responded to a call about a, quote, suspicious incident in a home and then found a body nearby. Police identified McBride as the suspect and said he was being held without bond. Police alleged that they found Dorsey's body in McBride's car and that the two knew each other, and that the two men were in the middle of an ongoing dispute when Dorsey was killed. The woman who called 911 told police that McBride came to her door the previous night looking for Dorsey. McBride claimed Dorsey had injured one of his dogs. The woman initially claimed McBride said he was, quote, going to kill him, but amended her statement later saying she was, quote, unsure if McBride said he planned to kill or hurt Dorsey. A few hours after this interaction, the woman heard approximately 8 to 9 gunshots and allegedly saw McBride shooting Dorsey. The woman claimed McBride returned to her home the following morning and threatened her against notifying authorities. Police received several other 911 calls on Thursday morning, including one from a male witness who said a person was, quote, cleaning up the blood because he killed someone. That caller further alleged that he saw the person lugging a body across the road and stuffing it into his car before taking off. Apparently, the woman who had first called 911 and then amended her story about McBride threatening to kill Dorsey found courage again after those others had spoken up. She now claims that McBride threatened her, and she told police she was afraid of him, and that's why she had lied. She also claimed she saw McBride dragging the body of Dorsey into a wooded area. McBride's LinkedIn profile and professional website say he's the owner of Starting Point Mental Health and a therapist specializing in issues including bipolar disorder and anger management. In 2017, a woman accused McBride of choking her after she took his dog out in a manner that upset him. She decided not to press charges in connection with that incident, and McBride received a deferred prosecution agreement contingent on having no contact with that woman. So a shrink who specializes in anger management kills a homeless guy in a fit of rage, apparently about his dog.
He got his diploma online for $35.
Yeah.
Really, I guess good, bad, and I guess anger management people are shitty at their jobs too sometimes.
Well, and if you think about it,
And that lady screwed herself.
and it's a life of negativity for those people that are those anger management therapists. I mean, they're dealing with not excusing that, but my God, man, you know, it's like some people won't be divorce attorneys because they just it's so much negative.
Right. I get that. Hey, but that lady, she screwed herself when she changed her story. She'll never be. I mean, she might as well just stuck to her story because they're never going to put her on her stand because she lied.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Well, and it sounds like whatever, this guy was triggered by things involving dogs. So I don't know, crazy.
Ooh, super cop.
Super cop. We ain't done a super cop in a while.
Super cop.
There are certainly a lot of super cops out there, and we're going to get to one. We're going to tell you about Officer Troy Ellison today.
All right.
And footage showed the moment a hero Arkansas police officer saved the life of a young child who had fallen through an icy pond. Ooh. Officer Troy Ellison of the Jonesboro Police Department had responded to a distress call made about a boy who had fallen through a frozen pond on January 21st. The officer is seen running through the snow and jumping over a fence towards a boy who can be heard crying in the video. Wow. Footage shows two men witnessing the heroic cop approach the boy while saying, "All right, bud, I got you." Ellison is then seen going down on his hands and knees and is heard saying, I got you, while the young boy speaks incoherently. As the officer continues to reassure the child, Jonesboro Fire Department Lieutenant Sean Morris, along with other officers, are seen throwing ropes towards the boy. Ellison and other officers then quickly pulled him out of the freezing water. Wow. The child is seen wearing a red hoodie, jeans, sneakers, and was taken to a local hospital for possible cold weather injuries. The police department later praised the brave officials on Facebook. The post read, "Great job," goes out to one of our officers who responded to a call about a child falling through the ice at a local pond. Officer Troy Ellison sprung into action when he arrived on the scenes, quickly located the child, crawled onto the ice, and pulled the child to safety. The child was taken to the hospital to be checked out and should be fine. The department also warned residents to stay away from frozen bodies of water. Be mindful that no matter how cold the temperatures get, playing on the ice is never safe. Luckily, this call had been a happy ending. So shout out to today's Super Cop, Officer Troy Ellison of the Jonesboro, Arkansas Police Department. And we have the body cam footage, and we're actually going to post that on the Facebook page for everybody to see. But he is our super cop.
A super cop, and it comes down to this: either you got it or you don't. And
that's right.
Mr. Officer Ellison got it. Super cop.
And it's pretty awesome footage because you can hear it clearly, and he is just as calm as can be. And you could tell his ultimate goal there was to make sure that kid felt comfortable and all of that. But dangerous situation.
Sinking. Because he'd gone under. It'd been a whole different story.
That's right.
So hey, just a few days before that, on the 13th, a female state trooper, Michelle Archer in Vermont.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box. right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes, plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real-life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
Kinky crimes. Yeah. Perfect segue for
Kinky crimes for Monday, y'all. So let's talk about some police officers again. A team of police officers got more than they bargained for when attempting to save someone, not from the ice, but from being attacked. The strange incident happened in Raleigh, North Carolina, when concerned neighbors called concerned neighbors called 911, fearing that someone next door was in grave danger on Tuesday. Right? So when 3 uniformed officers rang the doorbell, they were answered by Dennis Schroeder, the homeowner.
Okay.
He left the Lakers? No, he got traded to Oklahoma City.
No, listen.
Different Dennis Schroeder.
Sure.
He was the homeowner. He answered the door. They rang it, but he was fully naked. As was his girlfriend, Sandra Brand, who was inside the house and was tied backwards to a chair.
Hey, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes.
The police officer asked her, "Hey, is everything okay?" And Sandra covered herself with a blanket and said, "Yes, I'm still alive." Dennis, when interviewed, clarified, "Hey, we both like loud and lively sex. Definitely not quiet." He and Sandra have been together as a couple for a year and told how they had gone to a wine party before heading back home for some rough sex.
That's how it starts.
Sandra's legs were tied to a chair and she lay forward. He added, so stupid. He added, "We both enjoy it. There's nothing illegal with a little 50 Shades fun. Is there, officers?" Right? No police investigation took place after the reason for the noise was made clear, and embarrassed officers left the scene as quickly as they arrived. Now, I'm agree with everything, but they weren't embarrassed, and I'm sure they had their body cameras on. And no, Mike, I don't have a photograph.
Yeah, you do.
Actually, I'm lying.
He has some photographs that we'll put on.
You know what?
We'll put on Facebook.
Hey, I definitely wouldn't have.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with having a little fun inside your
50
house.
Shades and gray as it cops.
That's it.
But he answered the door
little
naked.
Kickle bell action.
He answered
going
the door
on.
naked.
Ball,
he knew
whatever.
what it was about. Police officers.
Yeah,
Everybody all right in there? I'm going to show them my shit.
that's it.
I'm going to show them how all right it is. Kinky crimes for
That's kinky. I don't know if I'd have answered the door naked.
That's what I'm saying.
I might have
That's
put
what I'm
on
saying.
something.
No, he wanted to say, hey,
Hey,
it's okay.
hey, that's it.
I think you're right.
Free Willy.
Free Willy. I like it. I can dig that.
He didn't even take time
That's
to
my style.
untie her from the chair before he opened the door.
Hey.
Do you remember when every woman in America
That's how I
was
get
reading
down,
that
dog.
50 Shades crap
I did.
at the same time everywhere you went?
Never
They were
seen
all
the
talking
news,
about
read
it.
the books, but I heard about it.
That's right.
There you go.
Here's some banjo.
Criminals.
I'll start this episode of Dumb Criminals with the question on everybody in America's mind.
Anything about Taylor Swift, I'm gonna throw up.
What the fuck do you have to do in the city of Oakland to get arrested?
Go to the drive-through or clone a card or.
Let me tell you what you have to do.
All right.
It's a good question these days, and thankfully, today's banjo lover, Anthony Pearson, has the answer.
Okay.
A wild video shows the moment thieves in Oakland yanked an entire bank ATM out of the ground, hitched it to the back of a van with rope, and then dragged the metal machine while speeding down a Bay Area freeway as sparks flew everywhere. The footage was captured by a bystander who couldn't believe his eyes. The automated teller machine in the video was stolen from outside of the Bank of America location on Hagenberger Road about 7:30 a.m., according to Oakland police. Multiple individuals used tools to rip out the ATM before taking off with it. The witness who filmed the wild heist told KTVU-TV he saw 3 people involved in the theft. In the city of Oakland, where a vehicle is stolen once every 2.6 seconds. That's not an actual stat. I just made it up, but it might be close.
I was going to say, there's no way.
All
the cars will be going in today.
Our mastermind decided to steal an ATM and then drive down a NorCal freeway with it shooting off more sparks than the space shuttle in his own car. Frankly, I'm surprised witnesses even bothered and that a 911 dispatcher even asked about a license plate, because by now I would just assume the car to be stolen. But on Tuesday, Oakland police announced that they have arrested Anthony Pearson in connection to the Bank of America ATM robbery. Mr. Pearson, you should have stuck to gas station robberies near the airport, because even Oakland has had enough and really dumb criminals do get caught.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'll give them to you in just a second, but I'm going to tell you, that is not easy to steal those ATM deals out of. And look, they had
not
someone
easy to drive on a freeway with them either.
Well, it's a miracle they were able to get it. Period. I mean, those things are you almost need a 18-wheeler to get those things out of them.
The key point I think on that one was they at least scoped out enough to bring the proper tools to cut it from the wall. Yeah, the one in that video I remember seeing is when they hooked up back into the window of the fucking convenience store and hooked up to the thing, and then they took it off, and the dumbass was standing in between the truck and the thing, and the ATM ran him over.
Oh, yep.
That was the dumb.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
That was a good story. Oakland redeems itself.
Imagine getting on a freeway.
I mean, how fucking
in your own car, tracking an ATM machine.
And that's like just not.
I think we should have a board meeting and no more Oakland stories for 2 weeks.
But they might counter with no more Pinellas County, and I like them.
Yeah, that's true.
But I know I'm connected to some of these crooks, and if we're not telling stories for 2 weeks, they're not going to commit crimes for 2 weeks. They're going to hold that. So
wait,
yeah. So we probably can't do that.
That's funny.
That's a good point.
All right, so let's do it like this. We love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. We say it because we mean it. Please take the time to like and share, and send us your stories. If you got something happening in your hometown, all that good podcaster shit. Love y'all.
I had one other thing that we haven't talked about. Those 3 guys in Kansas City.
Oh, they had something this morning at 4:00. I was reading on it.
Did they? What they say?
Yeah. And look at it was like a lead on
Fox News. The last thing I saw was they weren't going
this
do
came
any
out
charges.
This morning. This came out this morning. I thought about y'all. It was obviously too early. So, brother Chiefs fan who was found dead in friend's backyard speaks out. Let's see what this. I didn't even read it, to be honest with you.
Okay, I think I saw that one that he thinks that they were taking something.
Yeah, but that's the brother. That's nobody that was. I mean, he thinks what probably is the case. That's what I think.
Well, this dude said he was at a party and he slept for nearly 48 hours following the party. While
that's hibernating.
Yeah.
Well, that was the homeowner.
How the hell do you sleep for 48 hours straight?
Johnson brother.
No way.
But one of the victim's brothers explained why he doesn't think Willis' story adds up as investigators try to piece it together. What happened? He says, way too many questions still need to be answered. Blah, 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 blah. That's just stuff not adding up. You continue, you have to change your story, then blah, 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 whatever. And a 5th man who was at the home on January 7th, has been named, said that Willis and the 3 men were still awake when he left that night. He stressed that he was not the last person to see the men alive. And blah, blah,
that guy should be pretty key, because he should know what they were doing.
Right. It's going to be a fentanyl.
He's got
thing,
an attorney.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So
that's my suspicion.
But then he said that this guy that left the party slept for nearly 2 days after the gathering. So maybe, I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
We may win an Edward R. Murrow Award for that special report.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got to have it. Have a good one, people.
All right, I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Mike Agavino.
For real life, for Real Crime Daily, peace.
Let's.
Early holiday savings have arrived at Tanger Outlets. Discover the best gifts from your favorite brands, perfect for everyone on your list. And stack your savings with up to 70% off, plus an extra 15 to 25% off only during Tanger Style. Save at Polo Ralph Lauren, Old Navy Outlet, Under Armour, Skechers, J. Crew Factory, and more. Hurry in. These early holiday deals last through November 24th. Tanger Outlets. More savings, more cheer.